Friday. Friday cheers, and speaking of constants, that's a constant. This band called The Constants, right? The track we're listening to there, Walking Dead in East Texas. There's the vocal kicking in. A little psyche, moody, modern sorta, 2005. Cool blue vinyl there. So anyway, I'll talk about that in a minute. The Constants. So it's a Friday cheers, right? Let's settle in here. Short sleeves, because it's actually pretty nice. Let me adjust my high-end tripod. There we go. So anyway, yes, Friday cheers. Yeah, so it's here. It's the Utica Club. It's, I don't know, Colton's over there. He's watching from a distance. A little moody today. Anyway, cheers to you over there, Colton. Cheers to everybody out there. This meeting of the Utica Club is in session. Yeah, doing it. Yeah. Allergies are driving me nuts, so if I itch my nose like that, it's full of pollen. Anyway. All right, so what do we got going on this week? So we got a low-end thread, among other things. Low-end thread, I call them that because if it's not a contest, there's no prize. It's kind of low-end, but it's still fun. There he is, it's Gav Axman Spins. He's over there in England, a friend of David Atkinson, among many others. Virtual friend of mine. So anyway, he's at 1.31 million subscribers. He's celebrating 2 years in the vinyl community. Tonight, you can do it. You hit the button. Subscribe, get him to 1.32 million. It could happen tonight. Just like this ABBA, he was happening one night listening to that when he was doing this low-end thread. And the thread is, yeah, here it is. 3 funeral songs, VC thread to celebrate, making it to year 3, right? So as he begins year 3. So it's Gav Axman Spins. Did a good video. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you can play along. It's basically 3 songs you'd have played at your funeral, right? So anyway, that's a pretty cool idea. It's threads are cool if you come up with a cool idea like that. I've got another one I'm brewing. It's going to be 5 guests for the ultimate dinner party. Not VC members, musicians, right? Dead or alive. I'll maybe do that on Saturday. I had too much to do on this Friday Cheers video. I can't slam that all in. And this is all about Gav Axman Spins. It's not about me. And it's about doing these 3 songs for a funeral, or my funeral. Well, I'll be there. It'll be my funeral. Anyway, the moody one to begin. So this is from Steve Miller Band's 3rd studio album from 1969, Brave New World. It's a Brave New World, right? So the song I'm talking about on this one, this out here, is Seasons. Yeah, this is my autograph copy. I don't know who this guy was that had it before. He signed it in red. Seasons, just a beautiful ballad. Yeah, check it out, man. It's just a really beautiful, nice ballad. It's all about the changing seasons, and that's what life is, right? We're going through seasons. And through this, I forget that one verse in the song. Something about something will blow. I don't know, the wind, something like that. Through your life, the wind, I don't know. Anyway, it's seasons, right? It's Steve Miller Band, really good stuff. Seasons of life, right? Anyway, then I want to keep things a little more upbeat, right? So, you know, people, when you go to a funeral, there's usually someone delivering a eulogy, or, you know, like a wedding, you might get different speakers get up there, like at a wedding reception. And, you know, and they say nice things about the dead person. Or maybe they don't. Maybe it could be a roast, right? Anyway, yeah, roast me. Whoever comes to my funeral, it's fun. I like to joke around. So anyway, Keen. So this is from a great time in my life. This came out in 2004. Right here. We had just moved to the United States. Daughter was born the previous August in 2003. And, August 2004. Sorry about that, Caroline. This is summer of 2005. We were married in 2003, me and Patty Cheesecake. So anyway, this is at our first house. We had just moved in the dead of winter there to North Shore of Boston. And so Caroline there wasn't even a year old. That was the spring, summer of 2005. So anyway, I was listening to this a lot at that time. I loved that house we had. It was a nice little Cape Cod style. Totally gutted it and renovated. I did a lot of the work myself back then. And yeah, only to sell it 3 years later. We moved out to California for a few years, but great memory of 2004. I want that at my funeral. This one, front to back, every track. Shout out to my friend Keir Smith, From Me to You, another cool British guy. And anyway, get over and check out his channel too. I know he's a fan of Keen. So anyway, somewhere only we know. We might as well be strangers. Everybody's changing. Yeah, it's great. Can't Stop Now. All of it is great. That's a gatefold. Nice photos of the band on the inside. There's the lead singer. Don't ask me his name. But this is their debut. Huge, huge. And then they went on. 3-piece. They don't have a guitarist. It's focused mainly around the piano. Piano, drums, and a bass player. But yeah, it's really great. I like his voice. This is the only Keen album I have, but I know they're still around and they're doing it. So anyway, yeah, there it is. It's Keen, Hopes and Fears from 2004. Play that at my funeral. And then another great one, always a very reflective track for me. It's on this one here, and I'm talking about Mission in the Rain right here. That's a great one. So Jerry Garcia Band, his side project, they always did that version. Him and John Kahn on bass, Jerry, and yeah, he had, who's the other guy? Merle Saunders on keys in the early Jerry Garcia Band. Well, let's see if we can get this out here. I think it's on record 1. So this is a nice collection, Patty Cheesecake. Speaking of her, she bought me this. We were still in Boston right before we moved to Buffalo. It's a collection on the Round Records label. And let's see here, you can see Cats on the Stairs. Mission in the Rain is track 2, if you can see that there. So just a beautiful song. Clocking in on this version at 5 minutes, 3 seconds, but he does versions of well over 10, 12 minutes when he does it live. This is studio, but this is a very nice collection. Double LP set called Might As Well. It's a Grateful Dead song. Round Records retrospective. There's Jerry in the back hiding behind the wax. Inside here, it's like it's a dinner party. It looks like a table set for 12, but it's just a table for 1 because just there's Jerry and he's just hanging out. He's actually drinking a glass of water, it looks like. Anyway, he's doing it. And he's when he was still alive, he was alive until he wasn't in 1995. So anyway, there's 3 songs. Playing it at the funeral, not his funeral, my funeral. And so get over and do it. It's Gav Axeman Spins. 3 funeral songs, right? Just wonderful. And yeah, and a shout out to my late great dad. Speaking of funerals, so what we did at my dad's funeral, this was at a wedding. So this was, speaking of California, right after we left Massachusetts and went out there. About 2 months later, I remember in the fall of, would have been fall 2007, my nephew got married. So we had to fly back to Ontario. And there's my parents. You've met Betty before on my videos. And again, this is back in 2007. Can you believe it? 19 years ago. And Caroline was just 3-year-old, and she was a flower girl in the wedding. So yeah, at my dad's funeral, you know what the funeral homes are like. I don't know if it's like this in the UK, but you'll have like a reception area, and then you have a receiving line, or people come in to have a viewing if you have a casket or whatever. And then there's music, usually sometimes playing in the background. That's something you didn't see 30 years ago. It was always very depressing and silent. But at my dad's, we had some of this music. So I put together, I just told the funeral director, I said, here's a bunch of these songs, and then they just download them and they have a nice slideshow going of the life of my dad. It was great. So I had some Burt Camford going there. He had some Ray Conniff, Somewhere My Love. Always a beautiful woman on the cover of Ray's album. Ray put his own mug on the back, right? She's better looking, so put her on the front. Then we have Sergio Mendes, right? And Brazil 66, right? Sponsored on this LP here by none other than Herb Alpert. But A&M Records, he put the A in A&M. So anyway, yeah, I don't know if he produced this, but he was very involved in this. There he is on the back with Sergio. There's a young Herb. So Herb's wife was actually in the band. Lonnie Hall, I think here's the name. There she is right down in the front. So she was one of the backup singers for Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66. So yeah, we had that grooving for the late, get this, Gav Axeman Spins. My dad's name was Gavin, and it's my middle name. I'm carrying it on. So Gav Axeman Spins in Ontario. There's Gavins everywhere, man. There he is too, one more. Speaking of California, that was in Huntington Beach. We were out there, and my parents came out there to visit, and there we are. Yeah, in the kitchen of our old house there in Huntington Beach. So that's a great shot of me and my dad in, that would have been summer of 2008. So that's about 18 years ago. So he passed back in 2016. So he's been gone 10 years. This will be 10 years this summer. So cheers to you, Dad. And funerals, right? He had a good long life. Anyway, all right. So what else do we have left? Oh, yeah. So got a few finds. So I was over to Black Dots here in Buffalo, and that's this band called The Constants. When you guys come this summer, my man over there, Quinn. He's got this cool area now, lower shelving, where he has a lot of used punk and cool independent label stuff. And that's what this was. This band is actually from Boston. I didn't even know about them. I got this for $5. It's like new. You saw that beautiful blue vinyl. It's a 4-song EP, but it's a really long EP. It's 30 minutes in length. And you can hear that kind of dreamy shoegazy, but it's got a bit of like that, whatever you call that, progressive metal sound of like Tool a bit. Really good find. I'm really happy with this. 4 really solid tracks on that. And then that same day, I wasn't really looking for anything, but I love these Moody Blues albums. I got into these 3 in this sequence, and A Question of Balance is the 4th one. I have these all on CD because I got really into these in my mid to late 20s. A friend of mine, I remember we were just blazing one, and he put on some Moody Blues, and I'd never really got into them before. All I knew was Knights of White Satin, and then I deep dive. I bought them all on CD. So I saw all 3 of these at Black Dots. They were $3 each in mint condition. In Search of the Lost Chord from 1968. There's some great fashion on that. Again, a gatefold here. Psychedelic, right? It's fantastic. It's almost like symphonic psych. I don't know. It's pretty wild artwork. So there you have a corpse basically, and then you have the embryo, right? Life and death. Freak out, man. Peace. Wow. Crazy. And right after that came this one. Again, On the Threshold of a Dream. Another gatefold. Oh, they're great. I mean, the condition, it's just fantastic. And I've listened to all 3 of them. It's amazing. And on the original, there's the Durham label right there. Just great. Get that back in there. I know Lionel Richie likes it when he watches people putting records away. And it's still got the book. It's the end. It's the beginning and the end. So sad. And then number 3, To Our Children's Children, right? There they are having a little campfire. It's weird because it looks like they're inside because there's a bookcase, but they're having a fire anyway. And it's sort of a cave and it's sort of a house. I don't know. Anyway, it's psychedelic. It's great, man. It's the Moody Blues. So you've seen those all before in the vinyl community, but what the hell? They're good. All right. And I got the First Fix album for a couple of bucks. Shattered Room. Really good. Though I do prefer the one that came after. I already had this in the collection. But I had a CD copy only of Shattered Room. So for a few bucks, I grabbed it. Red Skies, great song from this one. And of course the title track, Shuttered Room. So anyway, I do prefer Reach the Beach though, just to put on record, right? All right. So then what else happened? So then last Sunday, I was up in Toronto. There was Brian had another big event, Embryonic robot fashion icon. He's known many names in the world. And he had another summer fashion bonanza. It was crazy. People walking around with maracas. It was nuts. So anyway, there he is right there. Down in the beaches. That's on the east side of Toronto. And he caught the Cherry Beach Express. So there he is lounging on the side of the photo shoot because he was tired. It was a long day, but we had nice sun, as you can see, kind of that mid-late spring sun. There's Brian. All right. And then, we got something over here. Dun-it, 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 dun-it. Jaws, watch out. Blast. All right, so anyway. So I was up there with these guys. Jeff Witcher was there. Gary at Physical Format, Jazz. And, Greg over at 3 Dimensions of Vinyl. So Greg's, all 3 of these dudes are coming to Buffalo in July. Come on up for the Colton Awards. Greg's nominated again for Most Laid Back Channel. Will he knock it out 2 in a row? Remains to be seen. Jeff Witcher up for Best Editing. Will he win again? I don't know. He's got some stiff competition this year. And there's Gary at Physical Format Jazz. Will he win Most Sarcastic? He's up against me, so it's going to be a close contest. But we're going to find out. And then, I'm right there with Gary. So we were over by that van again. We were at that part of the beaches. I've showed this slide before. And we were all wearing our Daisy Dukes. Brian's got shorts in this year's summer collection, which is odd. And he said he'd allow it because just demand is there. He doesn't like shorts. He likes to wear black, all black in the sun when it's 150 degrees. He just prefers it that way, like a, solar panel, right? Anyway, there he is. Because, yeah, seriously, he's wearing pants. They're not black. They're kind of an off pink, hot pink. Well, looks like he's having a Coors Banquet beer right there. They have a gluten-free special for Brian. So anyway, other people were up there. There's Jack from the Vinyl Martini. Craig right there from the Spirit of Vinyl. Steve from A.S. for Alice. They were all there. So that's kind of like they were having an ice cream. So Brian said, hey guys, you guys have all been good today for coming up here. So you get an ice cream, gluten-free. So they're all having an ice cream there. And they're kind of wearing a spring hippie look right there. You can see they're rocking it. Yeah, great stuff. Brian, the design's phenomenal. So anyway, speaking of blasting, there I am over here. I'm having a blast, right? See right there. So I was just like wearing my Daisy Dukes, right? Like I was over by that van. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to blast one. There I am right there. So doing it. And later on, got a little formal. We went to this fancy restaurant. So got all kind of New England preppy here. There I am with Bojambo. He came up from Melbourne. So cheers to you, Bojambo. Always good to see you, man. Last time I saw him, I was down there. Or not Melbourne, in Brisbane. What am I saying? If I was over in Melbourne, I'd be hanging out with Ben, listening to Men at Work. Drinking Foster's, all that stuff that Ben likes. But anyway, Bojambo, right, in Brisbane. So there we are. We were in Toronto. And then a little swimming action. So Brian took his shirt off. Some woman came up to him. And then there's Gary's like, hey, hey, man, I'm over here. Look at him, right? So Gary's wearing some sort of he's wearing a blazer, oddly, for a swim. And he's rocking these Don Johnson Miami Vice white pants rolled up. But Brian's like, no, I'm going out of my comfort zone. I'm going to wear shorts and no shirt. And some hanging out with strange women. It always happens when you're out with Brian. And then lastly, we had this British connection. So like I said, he's having a low-end thread right there. Our friend Gav Axman spins. And there's Dave Atkinson. Dave lost his luggage. He looks really pissed off. And they're in the lobby at some hotel in Toronto. Some swanky place. And Gav Axman spins rocking that sport coat with the shorts. And Dave going kind of Thomas Magnum PI with the Hawaiian shirt, right? And tucked in with the belt. That's an interesting kind of 80s combo. I like it, Dave. Very retro. Colton likes it too. He's here. And anyway, so that's, we had a longer video today, but what the hell, if you're still here, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Anyway, it's a funeral thread. Do it. Have a Friday cheers, wherever you are. Good stuff, people. Anyway, see you in the next video.